Hello and welcome. I'm Michael Perrong, and I have with me today Charles. How are you, sir?
I'm great, Michael.
Fantastic. Today we're speaking to you. You are the executive director of a charity, a nonprofit. Maybe it's a religious organization, different types of churches. Maybe you represent a US-based charity, but you do good all around the world. And as you know, we had this intense pandemic, and our government has been smart enough to give money back to organizations, both for-profit and nonprofit. And that's why we're talking to you today. And Charles is going to share a little bit about his story as an experience, so you as a nonprofit can understand what's possible for you. So the government is giving back what's called employee retention tax credits, which means, let's say you had 10, 20, 50, 100 employees. These are W-2 employees. They work full-time, minimum 30 hours. So 2 people at 15 hours would be 1 full-time. And what's been wonderful is that the government is allowing for us to do the very complicated process of getting the ERC. The CARES Act is 1,000 pages long, and just the ERC is 104 pages. So CPAs and CFOs, they can't keep up with all this stuff. So we pay all the money up front in order to pay for the CPAs, the attorneys, all the admin staff. We do all your processing for you. So for Charles, we went and worked with you. Charles, you had a chance to work with your local nonprofit. Share us a little about the story, please.
Well, I was blessed to have the first people I referred in be my own local church. We have a daycare, a K-12 school. The pastors sit on the board of the North Carolina School of Theology. So we have Bible colleges throughout the country, Canada, London, and 9 locations in Africa, in 7 African countries. So really, accomplish a lot. They do a lot. And it was really easy to explain to them the process. Most people understand the PPP loan situation that they've gotten in the past. So I just basically tell them the difference between PPP and ERC, and that the ERC is available, and then connected them with the white glove sales specialist, and everything went very smoothly from there on through the process.
Fantastic. And the net result was, while you were on the call, they were able to get an estimate. And it turns out that they're getting around $6,250 times 20 employees is about $125,000 for this wonderful church organization based out of Troy, North Carolina. Charles, how do they feel about it? How do you feel about that? That's a lot of money.
Very thankful, grateful, excited. It's a wonderful blessing to be able to expand the school.
Charles, as we have had a meeting with your pastor and wife and such, and it was really touching to see how much they appreciated having this kind of money brought to their church, because it's so difficult. All of you nonprofits, oh my gosh, the pandemic, it caused you what's called disturbances, and that's the work that we're going to do when we chat with you on the phone with our white glove support people. They're going to ask you about, how was your business affected, your nonprofit? Did you have challenges working with donors? You couldn't have meetings with them. You couldn't have your normal lunches. In this case, you couldn't have your church services the same way on Sundays. Maybe you had issues with supply chain. Maybe you had issues with other types of situations, operations, warehousing, depending on your type of nonprofit, exactly what you do. So we look forward to you having this meeting. And then Charles, how was it when you had to share the good news call? You said, look, we got to get you $125,000. How did that feel when you were chatting with them and such, and making a difference, a large donation like that?
Very grateful, very humbled, extremely blessed. They literally had to set up on the front steps of the church, and everybody got in their cars out of the parking lot to have church for a couple of months. Yeah. So things were greatly affected. They had to shut the school down because of COVID at one point, the daycare at one point. So to be remunerated and to get such a blessing, to be able to now expand and to help more children and reach more people in the community and across the world, literally, it's just wonderful.
I'm truly touched by it. I really am. And I'm so thankful for our position to be able to help nonprofits. And I'm committed to helping many others. Now, we're going to segue into the big picture, okay? I'm going to use some general, simple numbers that are conservative. Let's suppose that this church has only 100 members, which they have much more than that. Let's suppose that only 10% of those members own a business. That's 10. The 90%, let's suppose they don't know any business owners, have any friends or anything. There's 10 business owners, and each of those people only have 10 employees. So 100 times 10% is 10 members who want to come to your church, who want to come to your nonprofit, and you're going to have a meeting. And you're going to send them an email that we're going to give you. It's a form letter. It says, hey, members, donors, we are so thankful for you. We've been through this pandemic and we just got a blessing, in this case of $125,000. We'd like to share with you, working with our referral representative, Charles in this case, who's going to explain how we got it. It's called the Employee Retention Credit. Click here on this flyer so you can learn what we did, which will be one of these videos that we're giving you. Then those donors, who of course love their charity, right? They're going to come to the meeting and say, you got money from the government because of disturbances and this and this and this. We watched the video. Sure, we want to give it a try. So then Charles will set up the appointments, the confidential appointments with each of those donors, direct to our white glove sales support experts, who will then go on the laptop and do the interview and be able to help them to start their application. If they each only had 10 employees, which is a very low and conservative number, and we got them $10,000, which might be a little high, it might be a little low. We've gotten as high as $20,000 ourselves. Well, so 10,000, you guys got 6,250. I don't know, but just keep it simple. So each person has 10 employees times 10 grand is $100,000. You got 10 of those people, that's $1 million. So then in this flyer, as well as in your presentation, and Charles would do this as your referral representative or whoever it is for your charity, would say to your members, we have brought you this ERC funds, and our hope is you'll be kind enough to donate, say 10 or 20% of the funds that you get from this ERC back to our charity. So now all of a sudden, your charity just helped $1 million go to 10 members, and you got an extra $100,000 back from them. And I can assure you that's another very large donation. Charles, it seems like your charity has an interest in doing that program.
Yes, sir.
And what we can then do is we can also say, look, a lot of these people, when these CEOs get this money, they don't keep it quiet. They're going to refer other people. So now all of a sudden you've got CEOs referring to others, so the 10 go to others. And those 90%, I can assure you, there's going to be some percentage of them that they have a friend, a family member who's a business owner, and they're going to refer people as well. So there could be additional charities, charitable giving to your charity, even from non-donors. It's quite fantastic how this can really touch lives and really help to increase donations. Charles, that's the feeling I had. It seemed like your pastor and wife felt the same way in yourself.
Absolutely.
Well, with that said, I want to thank you all for your valuable time. And again, you as the executive director who's responsible for the well-being of your charity, you've had so many challenging times this pandemic. It's now time for you to reach out. We can help you get these complex employee retention tax credits back from the U.S. government, back to you. You deserve it. You've worked for it. It's about you. It's about ERC, and it's about time. I want to thank you all very much for your valuable time today. All the best.